back again. I had to do the little rant, the little tirade, bark on a nigga coming in my comments, slightly trying to pretend like he halfway fucking with me, but then the other halfway he being disrespectful with the sneak dissing. I don't play that shit. So I practice what I preach. Like I was saying, as content creators, more importantly, as black content creators, what I mean, show each other love, man. You can disagree without disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, like, yeah, I like where you're going with whatever you're talking about. Here's a couple of key points that, maybe you could touch on next time. I don't know if you was aware of this or that, but blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? If that is the gem that you feel they need to have included, come correct, man. Don't come with, oh, your shit is just wrong or da da da. Like, do your research before you come. You can't tell a motherfucker that they wrong and then don't provide the answer. That's where you look dumb. You know what I'm saying? So now that, like I said, now that I aired out the nigga from the other video, to change the tone and the vibe, I want to show y'all niggas how you appreciate your fellow black contents, how you show love, how you big them up, because if they do good, you're gonna do good eventually. You know what I'm saying? And more importantly, two people can cover the same type of content and not be enemies of each other. And with that said, those who've been fucking with me, rocking with me, um, I cover all type of variety of topics in history in general. But I did start to kind of bubble a little bit when I started to do the Sundown Town videos, and the videos that I did, obviously I did the best I could. Um, everybody think they good until they see somebody better. You know what I mean? I, you know, I was, I'm an average Joe covering that content, right? I thought I was better than that, but I'm an average Joe. I just got to bow the fuck down. This shorty right here, Rena Freeze on YouTube, and looking at some of her content, at least the format, it looked like she might have been on TikTok first and then might have crossed over to YouTube. But either way, the way she present her information is so different. That she hit me in my comments and showed love. She could have came on some hater shit like, yo, blah blah blah, you doing the same shit I'm doing. Nah, fuck that. No, she gave me, props like I see what you're doing over there, blah blah blah. And then I peeped her shit and I was like, nah, bro, you doing the shit way on a whole other level. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We human beings. If you feel that you're doing something better, cool. But if you see somebody else doing some shit better than you, just humble yourself and sit the fuck down. That's why this episode is about. I'm humbling myself. I'm sitting the fuck down. We're gonna hop into one of her videos. Shorty Rena Freeze. She's an educator, sociologist, and activist. This basically is her life's work researching sundown towns. You know, um, like I said, if y'all like the shit that I'm doing, then y'all gonna love her shit. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody, whether you are an existing follower or a future follower, check her out, follow, like, subscribe, comment on her stuff. Her shit is on the next level. Um, let's go on ahead and we'll look at. She got so many joints too. Like she got 275 videos just on sundown towns. This is literally her life's work. I got 12. You know what I mean? After watching like the first two or three, I was like, man, let me fall back. I might still do a joint, but like, what I mean? Shorty got it. She got this shit. Um, let's see. All right, fuck. We're gonna go to Coweta County because actually, I went to a studio session out in Coweta County. I felt nervous. This is when I first moved to Atlanta. Um, we had there was, yeah, it was a studio session. I was obviously way younger. This is like 20 years ago or longer than that. I smoked 1,000 blunts, so I'm kind of like dozing off on the way to the studio. I just know we was in the city when we started driving. When I woke up, nigga, it was crickets and country, and I was like, "Where the fuck are we?" But anyway, let's see what she's talking about.
Sundown towns. Let's talk about it. Coweta County, Georgia is 82nd on the list. By 1889, Coweta County was sick with Jim Crow and fits the criteria of a Jim Crow sundown town. We're going to learn about 8 racially motivated unalivings in this 3-part series. And one of these was attended by over 2,000 people, and they took souvenirs.
So just let that marinate, right? She definitely not only giving you what happened, she giving you the savagery that happened after the fact. You know what I mean? Let that, for those who have the mentality of a high schooler, you still can understand where she's getting at. You attended a lynching and you're taking souvenirs. What souvenirs can you take from a lynching if not the clothing and actual body parts? And maybe even if you just, want to go deeper with it, pieces of the actual rope used to hang said ancestor with. But, I'm going to let her continue cooking.
Let's learn history. Our ancestors were enslaved in this county. We were almost half of the population here. We were openly sold and worked on their cotton fields, while the white people built generational wealth from our free labor. During enslavement, though, our ancestors found faith in the enslaver's God. In 1842, Noonan Chapel Episcopal Church was founded, and we had school in the church. In the 1850s, Mount Vernon First Baptist Church was established. Remember that church for part 3 of this series. 1859, the newspaper tells us one of our churches in Noonan was burned down. By emancipation, we had our first official marriage here. But in the local newspaper, the Noonan Herald, in 1865, they were already setting us up and setting themselves with a superiority mindset. Child, the way they talked about us was downright gross. Before we even had a chance, our place was being made here in Coweta County. 1869, Fred G. felt justified in unaliving a black man after an argument about money. According to the paper, the case was discharged. They fully felt justified to do whatever they saw fit to our ancestors in this brewing Jim Crow sundown town. 1875, we had a Presbyterian church with a white pastor because the local black pastors were speaking too much truth, according to the newspaper. 1876, we started leaving this county, but those that stayed by 1881, baby, some of our ancestors were wealthy and had a summer resort and a school in Chalk Level in Noonan.
So, this even like what she breaking down, even through the adversity, all of the savagery that these devils was inflicting upon our ancestors, we still was trying to achieve some level of what we call black excellence before they even had a name for it. You feel me? That's the beauty of our people. Even through all of the adversity, the bullshit that has been thrown at us time and time and time again, we still try to find a way to thrive, to shine, to rise above the bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, she got the receipts and everything, man. Like, yo, let's get back into this. This is just some great content here. And I actually for like a 6-month period, yeah, 6 months, I stayed in Peachtree, no, Peachtree City. So that's like 2 towns over from Noonan. Yeah, Peachtree City. Yeah, and then I think right next to that is Noonan. That's crazy. But anyway,
This was a brewing Jim Crow sundown town waiting to show its ugly head. In 1881 in Sinoa, we got too uppity, and as a result, according to the newspaper, Hansler assaulted this black man so bad, it's unlikely that he survived. In 1887, we had neighborhoods like Negro Town, according to the newspaper. 1889, our ancestors established the McClellan Academy in New York. If you've learned anything and you've made it this far, please leave me a comment and engage. I'd really appreciate it. Come back for part 2 when we learn just how this place earned the title of a Jim Crow sundown town.
So boom. She really just getting into the weeds, into the thick of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm here touching on some high level, blah blah blah. Shorty is giving you like names, places, names of the ancestors that was actually done dirty. Like, what I mean? Once again, go over there to her content, to her page, what I mean? Rena Freeze on YouTube. Check out her content, subscribe, like, do everything. And I'll catch y'all. I ain't even gonna go through the rest of it, but for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna keep it brief. But this is how you know what I mean, give flowers to other black creators. We ain't got time to be trying to hate, unlike Mr. Artesian HVAC R1 hater of the year ass nigga. But till next time, y'all know how I do. I'll be back on y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for rocking with me, supporting the channel. If you're loving the content, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, hit the Cash App. Every dollar helps the channel grow. With that said, I'll holler at y'all. Thank you. I appreciate it.